What is going on, everybody? I am your average gamer, and we are going to be talking about the only two builds you'll pretty much need when it comes to God of War Ragnarok. Now, I know a lot of this is going to be opinionated because people have different playstyles, and that is what I am here to cover. Now, before we just dive in talking about the specific armor sets and these playstyles, I do have to say that I am not a huge fan of cheesing in this game. Unless it's that level 1 burden challenge, man, because some of those encounters in that challenge can be absolutely wild and frustrating, so I'll take all the cheese that I can get. But when it comes to the new game plus, you know, when you're trying to use all the OP gear that you get, that is a complete different story. So if you guys are here looking to one-shot every single boss and find the most OP gear, you know, for each specific encounter, this is not the video for you guys, but I do offer different play styles, and you don't have to copy and paste my specific build. You can make small changes to fit the way that you like to play. You can also tell by the intro that they are two totally different play styles, because one is runic based while the other is a hack and slash combo finishing build. I will also show you the stats as well as the armor and the amulets, but I'm not going to go too in-depth talking about everything because, you know, there's certain things that you might not like that you're able to change. For example, there's some grips that I have that don't offer any luck, you know, and you can replace those grips and then also change the amulets if you don't like any of those. So again, I'm just covering the basics. The way that I play is going to be different than how other people play, but at the end of the day, you guys will be able to kind of get a concept of what I'm trying to show you. So with all of that out of the way, let's finally talk about these two armor sets. Now, the one that you're watching right now is a runic type of playstyle. As you guys can see, I'm out here trying to cause that poison buildup, which means that you need high luck for that. And you need at least 400 luck, which is exactly why I'm kind of rocking this chest piece. Now, again, you don't have to rock this chest piece. You can use any other chest piece that offers high luck. But one of the things I absolutely love about this specific chest piece is anytime that you activate a runic attack, there is a nice chance of you refreshing 70% of that runic attack's cooldown. So you ignore 70% of its cooldown, as you can see right here, the fortune's refresh. And I use that on my relic, and if you look to the left, you see it's going to come up any second, and so that saves you a whole lot of time. And then you're also able to kind of just keep up the Storm of Bifrost, which is an amulet, again, something you will see later on. And you can just keep going on this endless onslaught. Now, the cons to it is it doesn't have a whole lot of single target damage, but it does everything very great across the board. As the video goes on, you will see that this build has barely any cooldown, but that doesn't matter because the passive effect with the chest piece as well as the high luck makes it so we're going to get those cooldowns really quickly anyway. As much as this is a runic playstyle, it is really good across the board because you're able to run from one encounter to the next without really having to stop and using something to your advantage, whether it's the relic or the runic attacks, because having them up constantly can really save your life. You're able to stagger enemies with the runic attacks, and that can be massive. Now, I did say a little bit ago that this armor or this playstyle isn't great at single target damage. Now, that doesn't mean it's trash. That just means that there's other better armor sets, you know, to take apart one enemy. But I'm also not going to stop and change every amulet and every piece of armor and gear to take out one enemy to switch it back. Anyway, the 400 luck allows us to have that Lunda engraving equipped for our amulet, so anytime that we are blocking and or parrying and just hitting the enemy with our fist, we can inflict poison damage, which is massive because that lowers all their stats. And then anytime that they're burning or frozen, that Vanaheim amulet, I just totally drew a blank, will help you do more melee damage. That poison also will help you do more melee damage because it is a status affliction. So having that doesn't just lower their stats, you can just do more damage based off of that. It does take a little bit more concentration to set up because, you know, you have to make sure that they are poisoned and that they are burned so you're able to do the maximum amount of damage. Again, not something that you really have to do, but if you're trying to take advantage of what this armor set can really do, then you have to pay attention to those types of things. If you don't want to pay attention to any of that, I totally get it, because the next armor set I'm going to show you is the complete opposite of this entire playstyle. But before we get there, let's talk about the setup to this playstyle. What makes this so unique is how you're able to approach the enemy. So it doesn't matter what weapon you have. You can have the blades, you can have the axe, you can even have the spear and siphon the enemy and get that status affliction. As you guys can see, just off of parrying alone, you can do it by blocking and or fisting the enemy like I said earlier. Get that poison build up. He's poisoned, he's burned right now. I activate my axe and it's just a massacre when it comes to the melee damage. I'm going to show you one more consecutive fight to basically show you again, it doesn't matter how you set it up. Here we are freezing the enemy, switching to our spear, then our blades to get that Bifrost Storm. Here we are activating the relic and then trying to get the burn, I think, afflicted, because when you get that burn damage off, you don't really even have to focus on anything else because you're going to do a whole lot of damage off of that burn damage alone. And as you guys can see, it worked out beautifully. So we were able to take out, what, 3 in a row, no problem, kind of doing it different each time, just a little bit. But now here we are with the whole different armor set, and as you guys can see, it is going to be over pretty quickly. So I'm pretty much just doing the whole Bifrost Storm, mostly because I like the Bifrost Storm. You know, it does just little chip damage, and sometimes that chip damage can add up to a whole lot of damage. But again, this is all preference. So you guys might not like that amulet and want to try something else, completely fine. You know, honestly, the relic that I'm using for this build probably isn't the best because you're able to get even more melee damage. But the reason I have the slow time relic for this build too is because I want to be able to get those combo finishers off, you know, and there's some times where the enemies have that invincibility armor and they're just swinging through everything. And I'd rather just slow down time, make sure that I get my combo finisher off and get that big chunk of damage out of the way. And just like the last armor set I showed you, this is also good against fighting multiple enemies at once. Now I understand that I'm fighting Draugr, it's probably not the hardest enemy in the game. It's still a very good armor set to just run through everything. Now like I said a little bit ago, this does have a huge con to it, and that is, it has like no survivability. You get hit twice, you're gonna die. And it does suck sometimes, but then you're just gonna restart the encounter and then run through everything once again, while having everything available to you. So if you're worried about dying, I'm not sure if this is 100% the armor set for you guys, but if you're able to get these combo finishers off, I 100% recommend, you know, trying this out. As you guys can see, you know, activated my relic, and just because of that, I was able to just keep going with the combo finishers and just dismantling everything in sight. I don't know how to explain it. The way that you fight enemies in this game and how fast you can defeat them, or the way that you defeat them, it's pretty addicting. You know, you find your own rhythm, you find out what works, and it can be very, very fun. Anyway, the rest of this video is going to be me just running around fighting the remnants of Asgard with the same armor set that you were just watching, which is how I found out that I actually liked using this. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this gameplay. This is all on Give Me God of War. I really hope you guys enjoy. Like, comment, sub would of course mean the world. As always, I love y'all. Hope you guys stay smooth. Peace.
Incoming! Above you! Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost! Careful, brother! You're covered in Bifrost!